The transfer window has just opened, and the club have all but secured a deal for their first signing of the window. Whilst our first priority is sorting a manager, there is still silence around it, despite reports stating a deal is done. In today's video, we will see what a Celtic expert has said with regards to Brendan Rodgers, whilst also going over all the latest Celtic news from the last 24 hours. But first, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Celtic content. Elynoussi, the Norwegian winger who impressed during his loan spell at Celtic, is now a free agent after parting ways with Southampton. The prospect of his return to Celtic Park has ignited discussions among the Hoops faithful. Elynoussi himself has kept the door open, stating, "We'll see, I enjoyed my time there." During his time at Celtic, Elynoussi was particularly noteworthy for his performances in big games. He was a critical part of the team, often playing an instrumental role in breaking down opponents. Despite some inconsistencies in his most recent season at Celtic, Elynoussi still managed to bag 14 goals and 6 across all competitions. His knack for scoring in big games became evident and his popularity among Celtic supporters grew. At 28, Elynoussi is likely eyeing his last significant contract, and while some fans may be eager to see him don the green and white hoops again, financial realities might be an obstacle. Celtic might find it challenging to meet his wage demands. Brendan Rodgers will reject any offers from Leeds United and any other club in favour of a Celtic job. Speaking exclusively to Football Insider, former Hoop striker Frank McAvenny insisted that Rodgers is not a championship-level manager and is excited by his potential return to Parkhead. On the 14th of June, Rodgers was a key name being linked with the Ellen Road job, but it was believed that he had ruled himself out of the run-in. McAvenny insisted the 50-year-old would choose a return to the Scottish champions over a drop to the Championship, as long as promises are met. He said, "I think if he gets a chance he will come back to Celtic. If what he is asking for is in place, he will come back. He has got unfinished business. Managers come and go, it is just the same as players, and I did not like it when he left, but I would say bring him back, he is my number one. I do not think Brendan would go to Leeds or anywhere else if he has a chance to go to Celtic. He is not a championship manager. I think if he gets the promises at Celtic, he will come back." Just a quick one guys, we have released our brand new Celtic Champion t-shirts. You can find them at celticapparel.com or just go down to the link in the description. We also offer free UK shipping. We are very shortly releasing some brand new t-shirts, so keep an eye out on the website and on our videos for when they drop. Okay, let's get back into today's video. Martin O'Neill thinks any extra baggage Brendan Rodgers is bringing back to Celtic with him will quickly be forgotten if he's winning football matches. Plenty of fans in recent days have shown support for a potential return, but there are certainly some vocal members of the support who haven't forgotten what transpired. O'Neill doesn't think there's any reason why the former Liverpool manager shouldn't come back and lead the club into a new era. The Celtic icon told the Greatest Hits radio when asked if Brendan Rodgers is the right man. Well, why not? When Brendan left the football club, some fans weren't happy, so he has to overcome that. I think he knows that himself, but like anything else, you start winning football matches, that's forgotten. The sooner you win the games, the better. He's coming into a really good winning side. He was successful himself as a manager. At the end of it all, there will be occasional feelings that he left under more difficult circumstances, but I think if you win the football matches, you are forgiven. Former Celtic defender Maresca Jenz has signed for Wolfsburg on a 4-year deal from Lorient. The 24-year-old spent the first half of last season at Celtic, making 19 appearances in all competitions under Ange Postecoglou, playing all 6 Champions League group stage matches in the process. However, his game time was cut following the World Cup break, and Jenz's loan deal was terminated by the club following the signing of Yuki Kobayashi. Following this, the defender was loaned to Schalke, where he made 11 appearances in his homeland. His efforts were not enough, however, as the side were relegated to the second tier of German football. Jenz had been keen on a permanent switch to Celtic during his time in Scotland, telling RBB24, "My agent and the club representatives will discuss this. I'm relatively happy at Celtic and it's really fun here. Every day is a dream, I hope it can continue like this in the long term. Let's see what happens, I just keep going full throttle for Celtic. I felt really comfortable here since day one." Armstrong Oko-Flex, the young footballer who once showed promise at Celtic, is now in search of a new club after being released by West Ham United. The 21-year-old Irish youth international, who also played for England under-16 team, had joined Celtic from Arsenal in 2018 when he was just 16 years old. Oko-Flex was tipped for big things when he made the switch from the Emirates to Parkhead. He made his debut for Celtic in the Premiership match against Hibs in January 2021, playing in a heavily rotated side due to a COVID outbreak within the squad. However, just 4 months later he decided to leave Celtic, realising he had no future in Glasgow. The young forward was given an opportunity at West Ham, where he initially seemed to thrive in the academy. He even scored against Celtic in a pre-season friendly just weeks after leaving the club. However, 2 years later he finds himself without a club and on the hunt for new opportunities. Despite the early promises he has showed, Oko-Flex now faces the challenge of finding a new club and proving his worth all over again. Enzo Maresca has now been named Leicester City manager. The former Manchester City assistant had been linked as a contender for the Celtic job. However, he has signed a 3-year contract at the King Power Stadium after Leicester's relegation to the Championship. It was expected that Celtic would hold talks with Maresca over the vacant post at Parkhead, but discussions were delayed until after the Champions League final. Maresca has wasted little time since lifting the title as an assistant to Pep Guardiola before going it alone. The former Italian footballer who played for Juventus and Sevilla has been a manager once in a disappointing spell in charge of Parma in Serie B. He returned to City after being dismissed and has also worked as a coach at Ascoli, Sevilla and West Ham. Hatate could be tempted to follow former Celtic boss Ange Postecoglou to Tottenham. Speaking exclusively to Football Insider, former Spurs and Rangers defender Alan Hutton said that Hatate is not the kind of player that the London club needs, and they should be focusing their attention on someone like James Maddison. According to journalist Sammy McBell, as relayed by Everything Celtic, the Lily Whites are monitoring Hatate following the appointment of Postecoglou as manager. The 25-year-old still has 3 years left on his Parkhead contract after his arrival in January 2022. Hatate has been a standout player for Celtic this season, with 20 goal involvements across 45 appearances, and was an integral member of Postecoglou's midfield. When asked if Hatate would be tempted to follow his former manager south of the border, Hutton told Football Insider there is no doubt he would be tempted. We are talking about a top 4, top 6 team. Of course he would be interested. That being said, I do not think that he is the type of player Tottenham need. I think they need a more attacking number 10 type player like James Maddison. Hatate has been excellent. I just don't think that is what they need at this moment in time. Celtic fans, what are your thoughts on Elynoussi? And would you have him back at the club? Yes or no? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video, guys. Make sure you drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Remember guys, we have released our brand new Celtic Champion t-shirts. You can find them at celticapparel.com or just go down to the link in the description. We also offer free UK shipping. We will also be releasing some brand new t-shirts very shortly, so keep an eye out for the videos and on the website. Thank you, take care, bye bye.